Be a lifelong student. This is a fantastic mindset which will help you for the rest of your life. Think to yourself right now that you will and you want to keep learning, keep reading, staying curious, being a student of life. You see, the reason why you right now are on a completely different trajectory to all of your friends, that's you, that's them. It's because of education. Now, education and being a student, we've linked those words with school. And school sometimes we can feel a bit negative about, can't we? But what you're doing right now on Adonis School is education. You're still in school here. And you can see how powerful education is. When you watch my videos, that's education. When you've watched those videos of Andrew Tate and he's shouting and he's teaching you things, and a lot of people think that that's not education. It still is, because he's still changing your beliefs. You've had your beliefs changed by Andrew Tate, by me, by E-Man, by Jordan Peterson, by all these guys, by First Man, right? That's education, and you can see how valuable it is. You have gotten the right education, and think about how different your life has already started to become. And imagine that in 10 years, things compound and everyone else has got the poor education. Eat the junk food, have a self-care day, don't do any hard work, don't go to the gym because that's fat phobic. Everyone else has got the wrong idea. When you were growing up, and especially like for me as well, we always used to hear about the importance of education, and we'd often see in those like charity, those like charity adverts on TV. This is like back in my time when people used to watch TV. These days, like your generation don't really watch them, but you probably see like, some kind of charity adverts. Some things which talk about like, oh, they need education in like some parts of Africa, or they need it in like this other country that, they don't really have much money. And you see like this sad video of a guy, like a little kid, like a boy who says that he just wants to go to school and get an education. This is what they're like kind of talking about. It's the value of learning from smarter people so that you can progress in life faster. New age education is no longer in a real school. It's all online these days. And so most of your peers, like, the other guys in your class, they're not educating themselves. The only education they're getting is the one in school. And usually that education is not actually that good. Because, you're learning from teachers who are making a lot less money than you want to make. You're learning from teachers who are pretty overweight. You don't even want to be like them. But when you get education from the kind of person that you want to be like, the kind of person who's making the money that you want to make, who lives the life that you want to, who has the kind of personality that you want, you get to become more like them, and you get to take their life lessons and merge yourself into that kind of reality faster. Like, education is beautiful. It's literally just simply changing your beliefs about the world, and that's what you've been doing by following this course, by speaking to other people. It's a beautiful journey, isn't it? Why stop? Right here, right now, why not just declare to yourself, I'm gonna keep continually educating myself forever? Why not right here, right now? Just for a few seconds, imagine yourself 60 years old, 70 years old, still using like these online communities, like learning this new skill of making like pottery. You've got like this new skill that you're obsessed with. You want to get into like painting or something, and so you join these communities and you learn the correct way to like stroke the brush so that your painting's better, compared to the guy who tries to paint once, doesn't know how to do it, and then gives up. Everything that you want to do in life, go and spend a few hours learning about it, and you will do it way better than everyone else who doesn't even try. I think that's beautiful. Like, for example, a lot of guys your age will get a job. They'll get a normal job. They'll get, like, they'll be a waiter, they'll work at McDonald's, some low-end job, right? They'll get the job. They'll educate themselves, like, the manager will tell them, okay, this is what you do, this is the cash register, you do this, they learn some things, right? And then they don't learn any more after that, and then they wonder why they're still on the same wage. But those top tier employees, they come in, they get the first day of training, and then they go home and they learn more. The waitress who gets the most tips and the waiter who gets the most tips, they've been learning social skills for a while, so that when they go into their restaurant, they already know to smile. The girl already knows that as she's like taking the order of an older guy, that she puts her hand there, and now that increases how many tips she's gonna get by like 15%. They know that, okay, that if they bring the mint at, for when the check is, or it's time to pay, and they bring them a couple of mints as well, they're more likely to get tips. Like, people know these things, and these are the people who excel and end up making so much more money because they kept learning. It's only a positive thing. Like, your life literally just gets better. Let's say about going to the gym. Jeffrey goes to the gym and he's probably motivated and everything. He goes to the gym and doesn't learn anything. He just goes to the gym. He shows up. He doesn't know what to do. He gets onto like the bench press, doesn't know how to do it right, and then hurts himself. And then let's say Jeffrey's suddenly disciplined, right? Let's just say that we pumped Jeffrey full of discipline and consistency, and he keeps going to the gym anyway, and he stops injuring himself, right? We're giving him all of these gifts for free, right? But just the fact that he isn't learning anything new, he's going to make a lot less progress than Adonis. When Adonis goes to the gym, still doesn't know what to do, but then he comes home and watches a bunch of YouTube tutorials on how to do the exercises safely and how to maximize muscle growth and how to eat. He watches these things, he educates himself. Maybe he pays for like a personal trainer to give him the education of how to do the exercises. And Adonis makes like a 10 times better physique than Jeffrey. The guy who educates himself will always win. So I want you to think about the things you're competing on right now. Getting girls, leveling up your business, your career, your studies, building your body. There's another guy who wants the exact same 3 things. And if you don't educate yourself and he does, he's going to make progress in these things faster. Imagine if you want the girl, and imagine if another guy wants the girl. But imagine if you've been watching those videos where you learn how to attract girls a little bit better, and you know, for example, to not be needy over text. And you know, like, to take a little bit longer to reply, to still stay busy, to go work on yourself, but this other guy doesn't. She's going to pick you. And that was literally based on education. So say to yourself right now, I am going to be a lifelong student.